victories that I love so dear bring the power of a new era to me!
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Lucas Rio here from Team Cardfighters United, and I have a very special treat for you guys. This is, of course, the wonderful Narukami deck profile that you guys have been waiting for since the last two sets. I'm extremely sorry for getting this out super late. All of us here at TCU have been extremely busy with work and school and things. Myself and Zio moved to college in Florida, so we're here. I know Takeo is over in college. Mac is doing whatever he does. Sorry we haven't put out any content since I think last year. We do have some things in the works for you guys. We've seen your comments. Thank you so much for all your support. We will definitely be having more budget decks, more card fights to show you guys. Even some stuff on the popular app Tabletop Simulator. So yeah, hope you guys are excited about that, because we sure are. This, of course, right now is just an update deck profile of my clan leader Narukami deck. It does have a new name, however. Unlimited Bind works. If you understand the reference, leave a comment down below. It would be really awesome for us if you did. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. There are some significant changes in the deck, and the deck has increased in price. So I think when I originally bought the deck, it was between $100 and $200. Now it's nearly $3, maybe getting close to $4. But let's just move the good old-fashioned clan card off to the side there, because it's so important for you guys to know that I'm the Narukami clan leader. We will be at Team League this year in Georgia. If you want to come say hi to us. If you see my deck, say something, because it would really mean a lot to know that we have some fans. But yeah, let's get into it. First of all, I run 4 copies of Conquering Supreme Dragon, Dragonic Vanquisher, V-Buster, the newest card from set 12 that I was super excited for. I'm really wondering to see if Narukami will be getting some more support later on. Hopefully they will. Hopefully I don't break my wallet doing it. But, his skill is once per turn, I can Soul Blast 1, choose a face-down card with the same name as him from the G-Zone, and turn it face up. And the opponent chooses 1 card from his or her drop zone and rear guard, and bind it face up. And then if the number of rear guards if the number of rear guards is greater than your opponent's, I choose 3 of my units, and they get plus 3,000 power. So he can choose himself and then 2 other rear guards, or 3 rear guards in general. And then he does have a GB3 skill, which makes him the best Narukami Stride ever. Thunderstrike 7, which means 7 cards in the bind zone, which is not hard to do. I can do it first turn if I use the right combos. And all of my units in the front row gain an additional 5,000 power, and he gets an additional crit and 1 drive check. He's a triple rare and pretty expensive. I think the most I actually spent on updating this deck was maybe less than $100. I did a lot of trading. Thank you so much, you guys. You are all a massive help to my endeavors into the Narukami clan. Thank you. I do still run 4 copies of Conquering Supreme Dragon, Dragonic Vanquisher Voltage. Just a background of his skill. You unflip a copy of himself, he gains an on-hit skill that is, the opponent retires 1, and you choose 2 cards in the bind zone, and, no, 2 cards from the drop zone and bind them. And then if he's at GB3, all the units in the front row get plus 3,000 for every card in the bind zone. Generic card is good for first stride and last stride because he can get some huge power creep, and I love that. Alright, next is probably a card I'm going to change in and out of because it's a good card, but I don't need that many of him. I run one copy of Conquering Supreme Dragon, Jagronic Vanquisher VMAX. Again, another card I ran in my original deck. Thunderstrike 5, Counterblast 2. At the end of the battle that it attacked, you get to deal an auto damage if the opponent has no rearguards on the board. And he's got a skill for every Vanquisher face-up in the G-Zone, which means all these guys, including him, in the G-Zone. If you got another one face-up in the G-Zone, he gets to attack that many rearguards. So if you got 3 face-up Vanquishers in the G-Zone, he gets to attack 3 units, including the Vanguard. I run him out of 1 of right now because he's a good finisher, but I'm debating on whether or not to increase him to 2. If you guys think I should, leave a comment with increase, or should I keep him at 1? Comment 1. In the meantime, I am keeping him at 1 because I do run a single copy of Conquering Supreme Dragon, Voltec Zapper Dragon. Now, I know that I should run Seabreeze, but I'm not willing to spend $25 for a single stride that I can't get anywhere else. So, his skill is Thunderstrike 3. When he attacks, he gets an additional 10,000 battle. That 10,000 power. Why did I say 10,000 battle? What's wrong with me? I'm sorry, guys. He gets an additional 10,000 power and an auto ability. You Counterblast 1. At the end of the battle, you pay the cost if you do. For every 2 cards in the opponent's bind zone, your opponent chooses one of his or her rearguards and retire binds it. So if the opponent has 6 cards in the bind zone, that means 3 cards that they have on the board at the end of the battle get retire bound for the price of a single Counterblast. I don't see why not to run this because it is a really good card. The final stride is, of course, a single copy of Conquering Supreme Dragon, Closer Dragon, which is the Narukami GB8. When it's placed, retire all rearguards and of all fighters, bind the opponent's entire drop zone, and everything on the board gets plus 2,000 for every card in the bind zone. Really, really awesome finisher. Almost as good as VMAX, but VMAX is a guaranteed damage. He is just massive, scary power creep. Next, we're going on to the G-Guards. I run a single copy of Mystic Wisdom Creator Braham. His name is weird. He is probably best in crap. What's the name of the Narukami unit? I don't remember. Because he's irrelevant. I think Musa plays him or something. If you guys remember, leave a comment down below. I don't remember the name of it. But you bind 2 cards with different grades from your drop zone, and he gets an additional 10,000 shield when he's placed on the Guardian Circle. Pretty straightforward. I don't see anything wrong with him because his skill, because he gets binds 2 cards from your drop zone, he will get an additional plus 4,000 because he takes from every player's bind zone, not just your opponent's. So that's an additional 4,000. That can be the difference between someone G-guarding and perfect guarding. Next, I run 2 copies of Sky Guardian Supreme Dragon Bulwark Dragon. Bulwark I ran here for a while. He is Thunderstrike 3. He gets just an auto plus 10k. And when he's placed on the Guardian Circle, for every 4 cards in the opponent's bind zone, I choose one of my opponent's rear cards at rest in the front row and retire it. That's straightforward, but it's really, really good to get rid of any scary Guardians or something. And finally, still 2 copies of Sky Guardian Supreme Dragon, MP Dragon, G-Break 1, unflip a G-Guard from the G-Zone, and when he's placed, I retire bind. The opponent chooses 1 card and retire binds it, and then if the number of rear guards I have is less than my opponent's, is less than my opponent's by 2 or more, the opponent chooses another one and retires it. So you're getting rid of 2 rear guards if the opponent has 2 or more rear guards than you. That's not a bad skill. I don't see why anybody would run it at any less than a 2 of. But, to each their own, I guess. That is the end of the G Zone. Again, you can run Sea Breeze. I don't see why you wouldn't want to, unless you're like me and don't want to spend the money for it. That's what I say. Let's move on to the main deck. Let's move you over here. We're gonna start with the grade 3s, because there's not too well, there's a big difference, I guess. Alright, first of all, I run 4 copies of the new Dragonic Vanquisher Sparking. He is probably my favorite grade 3 out of Narukami. Thunderstrike 4, at the beginning of your ride phase, counter charge or soul charge, and your opponent chooses 1 card from his or her drop zone and binds it face up. So if you manage to get Thunderstrike 4 by first stride, oh my god, they got something in mind for you. And Counterblast 1 when you G stride. If your opponent chooses a card from his or her drop zone and binds it face up, and then if you G strode onto a unit with Thunderstrike, then the opponent chooses a rear guard and retire binds it. So, Counterblast, bind something from drop zone. If you strode on a Thunderstrike, bind something from rear guard. I don't know if I said that originally correct, but I know when I repeat it, it is correct. So, yeah. Amazing card. Absolutely wonderful. I do still love the artwork. I really do wish I got the new artwork for this next card, though. This is original Dragonic Vanquisher. I don't think I need to read the skill. He's pretty old. But there was a reprint of him in set 12. So yeah, if you want, here's the skill if you want to look at it, because I'm not reading it because it's really old. 2 copies of him though, 4 copies of Sparking. Let me move them down so you can actually see them. And then I know that a lot of Narukami mains that are going to watch this video are going to see other things. This is what I run. And I like the way this works, because you have the defensive ability from regular Vanquisher and the heavy offensive pressure and resource returner of Sparking. And I know that a lot of people are going to run 3 of this card and none of him or 1 of him. No, that's not what I want to do. What I'm doing is 4 copies of Sparking, 2 copies of regular Vanquisher, and a singular copy of Eradicator Dragonic Descendant Sigma. The only reason why Sigma is here is because of the second skill. So I'm not even going to bother reading the first skill, because there are no Eradicator strides to even do anything with. But the second skill is once per turn. Gen Break 1. I can Counterblast 1 and choose a card from my hand and discard it. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked a Vanguard, if the attack did not hit, I can stand this unit. That is the only reason why 1 copy of him is in here at all. If his skill wasn't good for on-hit pressure, well, for non-hit pressure, I guess you should call it, for non-hit pressure, mid to late game, then he wouldn't be in here. A lot of people run 3 copies of him, and 1 copy of regular Vanquisher. Some people don't run OG Vanquisher in here at all. I don't see why not. The GB2 of OG Vanquisher is really good against hard-hitting decks, especially if you've got binding G Guardians like Impede. You plus the heck off of them. I don't know why you wouldn't want to have that, especially with that. I mean, it's awesome to have if your opponent has literally given you nothing to work with and you've only got a couple of things you can do stuff with. It's good to have in the back pocket. I don't know why. And I know a lot of Narukami mains are going to say in the comments, oh, you're not a real Narukami main if you don't do this and this and this. Yes, I am. Don't come for me unless I come for you. Okay? Okay? Anyway. Next is going on to the grade 2s. I run 4 copies of the brand new Plasmatron Dragon. Amazing grade 2. Thunderstrike 4, Counterblast 1. And when this unit gets plus 2,000 for each card in the opponent's bind zone. My boy Cloudmaster, you've been replaced. And then when he's placed, he automatically binds something from the drop zone. So if you place him after you use Closer Dragon, that's an additional plus. That's essentially double Closer Dragon. So if you give it 40k from Closer Dragon and use this skill, 40k and 40k, an extra 80k on this one unit. That's terrifying. I run it a 4 of. You could run it a 3 of and run 4 of this next card, but I'm running this at a 3 of just because I can. This is the beautiful circular blade of Strong Lightning Grizel. Probably one of my favorite grade 2s in Narukami. When this unit is attacked or chosen by card effects of the opponent's card, your opponent chooses a card from his or her drop zone and binds it face up. So, essentially, if the opponent does anything to get rid of this card without either locking it, without locking it or something, then her effect goes off. And then Thunderstrike 5, during your turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 power and an act ability. You get to Counterblast 1. If you have a Vanguard with Vanquish from his card name, which you will, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and until the end of the turn, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, it battles both the Vanguard and the rear guard chosen in one attack. So it's attacking 2 units at once, the Vanguard and 1 rear guard. That's really good for getting rid of any unwanted units that they have in the back row. Alright, next I run a really old card again. Again, not going into details, not going to read the skill. This is just Demonic Dragon Berserker Chitura. There's not much to be said about him. If you want to read the skill, here it is. I'm not going to bother because he's old. And then finally, 2 copies of Martial Arts Dragon. Again, another old card that was in my other deck profile. Both of these were in there. So if you want to know the skill from me, go over there and read them. But here it is if you don't want to. Really decent card. He's good for the second turn bind. And then with Sparking, you don't lose any resources with them. So I did really decent card. I was told you could run the new Helena. Here I am just making noises. Alright, next we're moving on to the beautiful, beautiful grade 1s. I'm so happy I managed to get my hands on 4 copies of this card, because it is an amazing perfect guard, not just because of the artwork, but for the skill. This is the brand new Summoning Lightning Dancing Princess Anastasia, the new Narukami perfect guard. She's got the Sentinel ability, the original perfect guard ability, drop 1 perfect guard, but she's got a Thunderstrike 4 ability, which is really, really interesting for the way I play this deck. When this unit is retired from Guardian Circle, you may draw a card. So, if the opponent has a skill that's like, retire this unit on the Guardian Circle, you get to draw a card. When it's sent from the Guardian Circle to the drop zone at all, draw a card. Yeah, she's freaking amazing. Especially for late game pressure. Well, opponent's turn, late game pressure. So that way you can get back the cost that you paid for perfect guarding. Add another card. Alright, another grade 1 that I absolutely love in this deck is Smash Boxer Dragon. During the battle, this unit boosted a unit with the Thunderstrike ability. That unit cannot be chosen by card effects. So if you boost like Grizel or Plasmatron with this unit, because they both have Thunderstrike, even if they're not online, they cannot be targeted by card effects similar to Denial Griffin. So, if you boost with him, Denial Griffin can't retire her. You can't do anything with him. And then what is the most beneficial ability is Thunderstrike 3. Put this unit into your soul. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted, which means it just says boosted, so it does not specify what it has to boost. And if you have a Vanguard with Vanquish from his card name, you pay the cost. If you do, draw a card and countercharge. The resources that Bushi has given Narukami to get back is absolutely amazing. I could see running it at a 3 of, but right now I'm running it at a 4 of until they give us something better. But that is a really, really, really amazing card. Okay. Next is we're running 4 Stride Fighters. Now I know from the holo in the background you can see that one of them is different. They did reprint Mighty Bolt Dragoon in set 12 because it's a Stride Fighter. I'm not going to go into details about the skill. It's just Stride Fighter. Because Narukami focuses a lot more on the main Vanguard and the grade 2s and not much the grade 1s, there are, 14 grade 1s? Those 4, well, those 3, and then 2 copies of Dragon Dancer Fantine. Another old card with a G-Break 2. There's her skill. I'm not going to waste my time reading it because she's an old card. She was also in my original Narukami deck profile, so yeah, go read it. Go watch it. You can read it here, though. But please, go watch it. The views would be pleasant. That is it for grade 1s. Like I said, you could take out a copy of both the Stride Fodder and Smashboxer and run something else. I don't have any quarrels with it. It's just Smashboxer's really good at a 4 of because of the extra draw and the extra counter charge. There's nothing wrong with it. And finally, we're moving on to the triggers. Alright, first, of course, 4 heals. This is Meditate Draco Kid, the heal that goes with Impede. Again, not going into details about the skill because it's in my other deck profile. Please, again, go watch it. It's amazing. But here's the skill. You can pause the video or whatever. 4 heals. I don't remember how many draw I ran in the deck before, but I'm running 4 draw. The most adorable draw trigger I've ever seen. Eradicated Drag Phoenix. This adorable little chickadee. Yes. It's just cute as heck. But I'm running 4 of that because this is, of course, draw. For me, I call it Drawkami because you draw like a crap ton. Next, I do run, 6 crit, 4 copies of Lightning of Triumphant Return Recef. Not going into details about the skill. Again, another deck profile. Go watch it. Here's the skill though, because he's great. He's the specialty crit. And then 2 copies of a new crit. Force of Wind Eradicator Shiva. The Margot clone crit for Narukami that they gave us, which is great. Centers of Soul, choose 1 unit, give it plus 3k. Don't see why you wouldn't want to run it. I only run it at 2 of though. But the last trigger is really interesting because it's not that good of a trigger overall. But if you're trying to save money, but you still want a decent trigger, that'll still do something if you place it. I run 2 copies of Dinge. Why did I say Dinge? Jin of Rainy Duststorm. He's another really old card from, let's see, GBT09. You could, of course, run Vianney, which is better than him, personally. But if you want to spend $5 on a single trigger, be my guest. I'm not about that life. I'm in college. College needs money. Cards need money, so I'm going with what I have. But his skill is really interesting for how this deck works. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, he gets plus 3,000. And to the end of the turn, I choose one of my units, and it gets Thunderstrike 1 from Vanguard or Rearguard. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, your opponent chooses one of his or her rearguards and retire binds it. And it gets that to the end of the turn. So if you want to put it on Sigma will actually be able to do something else besides just restanding if it doesn't hit. So now it'll get, if it hits, you get to retire bind. If it doesn't hit, you get to stand up, and if it hits, You get to retire a bind. It's a win-win from a card that I personally just don't enjoy. But those are my triggers. Finally, though, we are moving on to the coup de grace, the new starter, Hard Rod Draco Kid. Got the Forerunner ability, but he's got his other abilities are really interesting. You rest this unit, your opponent chooses a card from his or her drop zone and binds it face up. If he or she could not bind, you get to countercharge. Choose one of your units with Thunderstrike, and it gets plus 3,000. That is really, really good. And then, considering he has a second skill, which makes him even better. Thunderstrike 4. Put this unit into your soul, and Counterblast. Choose one of your units, and it gets plus 3,000 to the end of the turn. And the opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards and binds it, and retire binds it face up. So, in combination with Hard Rod, Sparking, V-Buster, and Plasmatron in one turn, if you're at Thunderstrike, no, you don't even need Plasmatron. With Hard Rod, Sparking, and V-Buster, if you're at Thunderstrike 4, if they're at Thunderstrike 4, then shoot, you could win. You could get the V-Buster's Thunderstrike 7 easily. Heck, if you're at Thunderstrike 0, Sparking skill, retire binds 2. Use both of his skills. Retire binds 2, binds 2 more. Binds 2 more. Use Plasmatron. Binds that last one. That's 7 cards in one turn. Jesus Christ. Why? It's so freaking amazing. But it's very rare that you get to pull that off because Plasmatron likes to show up late as heck to the party. If you guys have any comments about my deck, leave it down below, like I keep telling you to do. Please. We like reading your comments because you make us happy. If you do, like I said, if you do have any comments about my deck, leave it down below in the comment section. We'll hopefully get to it eventually. We do have a couple of other deck profiles getting ready for you guys. Like I said, a bunch of stuff we have in the works. Sorry for being MIA for like 6 months. Things have been really, really hectic. You kind of lost Casey. We don't know why or where he's gone. It's just been rough for us. It's been kind of rough. Just hang in there. We haven't forgotten about you guys. We do love you. But this has been your boy Lucas Rio here from Team Cardfighters United. And please, 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 please always remember, meta is disgusting. So just play what you want to play, man.
Going on, guys, it's Takeo White Hand. I'm calling my boys like we're using Unite. Cause when we're all here, you can't put up a fight. You'll be at 6 damage, I'm ending your life. You must be hollow, cause that's where you're gonna die soon. Killing quick like Grand Revolver when it's high noon. Enemies gone like the board on a pale moon. Striking so fast, foes bound to lose. Naru, oh, what's that? You gone so soon? Is it cause it's with your team like a witch on a broom? Well, it's your fault for thinking that you wouldn't lose. Got on your